What's up, what's up, what's up, YouTube? It's your girl Nikki, and I am back. Y'all, it's currently 1:30 in the morning. I was asleep, woke up, and I'm like, I gotta do my video. So, my girl Shantia Days, she made a video yesterday, you guys, and it was about the title of the video was "It's About It's About to Happen." I think it's about to happen, and it was like, "Don't fumble it." And in the video, she talks about, what you've been praying for, what you've been trying to manifest in your life, and, praying and fasting and, talking to God and all of those things. And, like, y'all, I have always been the person who felt like God had more for me. Even when I worked at Little Caesars, I remember this time I was having a conversation with my aunt and the lady who my boss lady at the time, and she we was having a conversation about the job. She was my boss lady, but she was like a friend of the family, so she was over at my grandma's house, and she was like, I can't remember what we was really saying, but I just know that I said in that conversation that Little Caesars is not the end for me. Like I felt like better was coming, and the thing about it, I mean, certain situations I liked the job at the time, but when certain things happen, I know when it's not my place, when it's not for me, really solidified for me. So, yeah, I scream out eating some grapes and still got some grapes kind of in my mouth. But so I just knew, at first I was okay with it, but then I was like, this ain't this ain't just for me. So I ended up leaving. What up, what up? But anyways, so it just made me think about that, and it also made me think about like back in the days where my aunt used to say, Nikki, you and grandmama or her mama, God got y'all, you know. She used to say that, and I used to be like, I believed it, but at the same time, you know, you don't really know because I wasn't the praying that I do now. I didn't do back then. Like I prayed, but I didn't. But I can't say I didn't have the faith because I still did have the faith. Now I can say that. I always had faith in God. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't pray and try to manifest. Well, I can't even say that either. I didn't pray like I needed to, but I always believed and I always trusted and I always had faith. But so with her saying that, the video Chantel Asia was talking about like breaking generational curses and sometimes receiving um the blessings from God that your mother used to pray for, or either your grandmother used to pray for, that they didn't receive in their lifetime. Because sometimes, like when it comes to blessings and manifesting things and receiving blessings from God, you have to really put yourself in position to receive these things. Like God, you have to align yourself. God will give you blessings. You will pray for things, but sometimes we may allow other people to come into our lives and block the blessings that God is trying to give us. Y'all, I can honestly say I'm somewhat like my grandmama, but not all the way. My grandmother is a giving soul. When I tell you that lady, give, 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 give. But the difference between me and my grandmother is I'm gonna give me first. Like I'm not gonna allow people to come into my life and ask for all that God has given me and not give to myself. Like I want something nice. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to uh, see the fruits of my labor. My grandmother, I don't know what it is, but she would rather see other people happy. She would rather be able to please people whomever it is that come to her and ask her for help. If it's her last, she gonna give it. Even now to this day, in the later 82 years old, I think she 82, maybe 83. I can't remember. But she was born in 43, I think. But she's in her 80s, just retired. Just retired last year from working, cleaning up houses for these Caucasian people that she did for all her life. That's the only job she's ever had. And retired without a retirement because I don't even think they gave her just, any retirement money or anything like that. Even if they did, I don't think she would have said something because she know. But the help that she already do, they would have. She just so giving, y'all. She just so giving, 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 giving. Anytime somebody needs something, she gives. And I could see myself. I am that same person. Like I do try to help as much as possible, but I'm not gonna like before I before I allow somebody to mess up what I have going on. I'm gonna say something. And I think that's the reason why, like even back in the days when I the apartment that I had first, it started out me and my aunt, but then things went good. Between it's always different when you move in with people, and she decided to move out, and you know, I let so many people. I let my two cousins come live with me. They were sisters, and they three kids. Then I had another cousin, rest her soul. She came with her girlfriend kids, and her one child. That's the one that the little girl that my little cousin that I be helping out now. If it was her mom. They came and lived with me for a little while, and then after they left, my sister came to live with me um, for a little while. And y'all, excuse me, that's my dog barking. I don't know what she barking at. But my sister came and lived with me for a while, and right before then, um, I had already, put in to have to get a whole nother apartment. So that apartment that I had, I I liked the apartment, but it was no longer home because I had to let so many people come and stay with me, and it just wasn't home to me anymore. It didn't feel like home anymore. So uh, I had help from my other cousin. They were staying in like some based off your income apartments, and it was nice and stuff like that. So I, you know, went and asked them for help, and I promise y'all, at the end, in that apartment that I was staying in, I let everybody come stay with me, and me and my aunt was staying there first. By the time I left there, the rent was behind. Um, the only thing I really could afford to just pay was um, was the light bill, and light bill used to be so high. And then y'all I had the manager over the apartment. She came to me. Well, I was talking to her one day, and because I used to make make payments, trying to pay on the rent and stuff like that. She was like, I feel you. I understand that you're trying to do it, but it's just like every time you make a payment, the next month come in, so it's like it's piling on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I see you and I understand. And so at the end, my sister was staying with me at the time, and um, I was like, I'm finna get to move out. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, okay. But y'all, when I tell y'all, when it came to almost hitting the fan, when it pretty much was hitting the fan, the other apartment that I had lined up hadn't already came through. All I had to do was move in it. So, with that being said, I just always felt like, regardless of anything, God has always had me covered. Everything that I prayed for, He has given me. Those apartments that was the low income before I moved here, those the apartment. That's the apartment that I stayed in. I stayed in there for like 4 5 years, and before I moved there, I used to always look because it was an area that was like back in the day real messed up area, but they tore those apartments down and rebuilt them, and there was some nice apartments. I used to ride by. I'm like, ooh, just always wanted to live in those apartments. And when I tell y'all, I manifested and it came true. And the apartment was nice apartments. I feel like if I fell flat on my face, I'd try to go back to today. I would try to go back. But I everything that I've always wanted and prayed for and manifested, God always gave me. Now, I feel like what blocked some of the blessings that God was trying to give me was whom I was around. Yeah, I was like, I just had an epiphany when I just said that. Oh, Lord. It was who I was around. Because let me tell you, God is not going to give you something so that everybody who's not for you is going to be able to reap the benefits of the blessings that you work for. He's not going to do it. I feel like now that the noise is not around me anymore. Everybody has shown themselves and revealed themselves to me. I know everybody's heart and how they actually feel about me. Even if they said it when they was mad, or they said it when they was sober, or they said it trying to be funny or joke, because it be truth in people jokes. So you have to pay attention to that too. But when people have revealed how they actually feel about me, everybody is no longer around me. Nobody is no longer around me. So I feel like, I can't say everybody because I still um, have certain people, in my corner. But at this point in time, with that, I know I told y'all about the party that I was supposed to be going to. I don't want to. I know some people be like, "Girl, you making this a big deal about this party." I'm not making it. It ain't even about the party. It's about who's there. It's about who's throwing the party. Because if it was somebody that, even if me and that person done just had any issues, but I knew at the end of the day they really done supported me in my lifetime. They done did right some real good things for me in my lifetime. But everything is not peaches and cream. I would still go because I know at the end of the day that person really has been there for me and really supported me honestly and truly throughout my life. This lady who's throwing the party, I feel like I always chose somebody else if it came down to it. It's like you didn't have belief in me and you didn't have faith in me. It could be like me and cause like people do have different times. They could be the same age, but different times on where they reach goals at in life. And I said before, I had a cousin that me and her the same age. Her birthday July, my August, and she, you know, did accomplish, like she graduated from high school and she, you know what I'm saying, she did certain things, but to me, just because she graduated high school, that don't mean I was dumb. I just didn't go the route that she went. I just wasn't focused like how she was focused in school. You know what I'm saying? But me and her both at this time, like back then, she had lost her mama when she was like 5, 6 years old. I lost my mom when I was like 13. I felt like she knew my mom better than she knew her own mom, which she did. But it was like certain things that I looked to her for that I thought I was gonna get from her, I didn't get. Like whenever it was talked about, my mom was brought up. She never like felt the connection, even though she knew my mom. It was like her sadness. Like anytime her mom death date comes or anything like that, she's a very sad person. But when I was looking for the sympathy and everything, knowing that I know you knew who my mom was, she couldn't give me that. And I didn't understand it, but I understand it now. Everybody grieve differently, and sometimes if you crying every day, how can you be a shoulder for me to lean on if you crying every day? So I give her. I don't feel no way about that. You know what I'm saying? I let her grieve how she needs to. Um, but it's just these are people that I do love, but that I don't want to be in that party. I don't want to be in that space anymore. Like I told my cousin, I don't drink. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm not doing none of those things. So I don't really feel comfortable being in that area, in that crowd, because if it was somebody that was just so important to me, I would go. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So, and I felt like I had a confirmation, even fresh at teenage, because one of her one of her videos was about like not being in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I be seeing so many videos where they be like, why you keep showing up for people who never really showed up for you? Don't show up for people who don't show up for you. Don't keep putting yourself in places where you feel uncomfortable. I wouldn't say I feel uncomfortable, but I just know that behind my back, certain things have been said. You know what I'm saying? You've seen your true feelings of how you really felt about me have been shown through your actions. You ain't have to say them. It's your actions. You know what I'm saying? That really shown me how you feel. So I'm not going. And honestly, I'm like I was explaining to my little sister, friends. Yes, I guess it's good to have friends and good to have relationships with people. But if having relationships with people or having friends is gonna jeopardize you, your feelings, um, how you live, whether you be in a sane place, whether you be in jail or not. Like if being around somebody is gonna cause you your peace or anything like that, don't be around that person. Don't be around it. And I feel like at this point in my life, I really am choosing me. I'm choosing to be in the places. I will go anywhere that uh, I'm not gonna drink and smoke, but I will show up for the ones who shown up for me. Other than that, if I feel like you don't really support me at the end of the day, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm choosing me. And I thank God for revealing people to me. Like if I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna show up for a reason. It gotta be somebody that's important to me that I'm gonna show up. Cause if not, I'm not. And like I said, I thank God for revealing those people to me because you don't really know people until you start, until you live with them or until you elevate in your life. That's when people really reveal themselves to you. And I'm so happy that I've seen all the good, the bad, the indifferent. I'm happy that God put me in a point in a stage of my life where I was able to be happy, walk through anybody door and be happy for them. Never judged nobody's home. I will try to find the good before I try to point out the bad. I will. I go to come to your home even if I feel uncomfortable, even if I ain't been in your home and we probably had some bad things, bad words back in the days. I will go to your home with an open heart, trying to lighten the mood and try to laugh and all this other, just to see how you receive me. If you receive me, then we can have a good relationship. But I feel like you don't receive me, and I feel like you steady trying to throw jabs and be funny and stuff like that, then you ain't got to worry about me just coming to your house like that. But anybody house, when everybody was on the come up that I went to, I never judged them. Never. Ever. Ever. I always happy for people. And the fact that this house right here, be so quiet, y'all, let me tell y'all. I'm a big Golden State Warrior fan, as y'all know. I went to, I'm saying, the Atlanta Hawk games for Golden State. Well, I went to Atlanta for the Golden State game. Atlanta and Golden State. But before then, I used to, in my apartment, I used to have like, when Golden State real popping, the last time they won a championship actually, coming up to the season, coming up to like the playoffs and stuff, I used to have, whenever they played, I used to have like little nights, Golden State nights. I had my blue and yellow balloons all over the house and, cook and had a little party, well, Golden State watch party, I guess, at my house. Y'all, I'm gonna do it tomorrow and I don't want nobody to come. I want to have my balloons. I got this little cover that somebody gave me that was Golden State. And they knew I was a big Golden State fan, so they see me. They were like, you know what? I want to give you this cover because I know you love Golden State, so I'm finna give you this cover. And I was like, oh, thank you, And I still got it to the day. I'm gonna bring it out. I'm gonna put it on my put it on my couch. Then I got the Golden State pillow that my daughter bought me. I'm gonna put that on my couch. I'm gonna give me some blue and yellow balloons. I was gonna make like some fish and grits and stuff like that, but my husband, he was like, he want him a steak tomorrow, so we gonna eat us a steak. And I ain't trying to have no crowd at my house. I just wanted to be me, just me and my husband, because I can enjoy, y'all. I can enjoy a game without nobody around. That game, um, Wednesday night. Y'all, I'm gonna whoop my husband up, clapping. If anybody in the Golden State, in basketball world and know what happened in that game, you understand why your good was so hyped. I was just so hyped. So I have learned, y'all. I enjoy my own company. I don't have to have nobody around me. God has really shown me the crowds and the spaces that I don't want to be in. Because if I party with you, I want to be able to, when you leave, feel comfortable and know that it ain't no drama, no drama, no nothing, no messiness coming out of it. I want the person that's coming into my house to really and genuinely be happy for what I got going on in here. If not, you ain't gotta come into my house. I will have fun myself, especially watching basketball. My family know I'm a big basketball fanatic, and if they want to act like they don't know, they know. I love Golden State. Like I was a big Lakers fan when Kobe was living, but I always watched Golden State because it was like every time we played Golden State, they weren't winning at the time, but I seen the progression. I seen that they was gonna get there. So it was like soon as Kobe retired, I'm gonna go to State fan. Like that was my other team. So that's how I went there. And people always be like, "Oh, you a bandwagon fan?" And no, baby. I started I can go to State before they started winning. I was a Golden State fan back then. Probably not all my life, but before they started just whooping people, before they won their first championship, I promise you I was a Golden State fan. I was. And so, um, that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Me and my husband gonna eat up some steaks, probably some baked potatoes, probably some broccoli and something like that. And I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna go to the Dollar Tree, find me a couple of blue and yellow balloons, and put my cover out, put my little Golden State pillow out, and that gonna be it for me, for the day. You know, if somebody call me and ask me, I might tell them, but other than that, I ain't trying to feed nobody. So if you come, you gotta bring your own food. You gonna have to bring your own drink too, cause your girl don't drink. I might have a little wine, but y'all, I promise y'all, when I tell y'all, I don't drink to get drunk no more. I don't. I ain't trying to get drunk. Everything just really done changed. It just done changed for me. It done changed, and I honestly love it. I love it because the person that I was when I was drinking just back in the day, I can't honestly say I was 100% proud of that person. And the people that I was hanging around, I can't say that I was 100% uh, proud of my crowd. That's why I'm choosing to be by myself. But I'm sorry, y'all, to just be rambling. Yeah, no. But I just be having a lot, a lot to say. And just to be able to explain y'all the situation that I've been in, that I've been through, and knowing that, when you got a lot of friends or you got a lot of family, like, because they say family is your biggest critics, your biggest haters, and all that other stuff. They the people you have to watch the most. And I can honestly say it is. Like, they really is. Family, they'll look at you, smile, you'll be thinking they for you, and then behind your back, they be having whole conversations about you. Rumors be going on behind your back. Ain't nobody came and said nothing, but everybody know the sidebar conversation. You know what I'm saying? But it's all fine. It's all fine because, like I said, God always had me, and I feel like I am receiving the fruits of my labor. All the praying that I have done in my life, all of the manifesting and trying to fast. Like, I could fast for, I haven't did a full 24-hour fast yet, but I have done like 12 hours, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and stuff like that. Like, I could do that. I could do that with no problem. But yeah, y'all, it's just I'm happy and I'm okay. I feel like I got things lining up so perfectly for me, and I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. But y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because I don't want this video to go to 30 minutes. I'll be trying not to take y'all ear off. But I thank y'all once again to all my subscribers. It's 75 subscribers, y'all. I thank y'all. Y'all just don't understand how happy I am to have 75, like 75 people subscribe to my channel. Y'all just don't know. That is a blessing. That's a blessing. That's more than I can ask for, honestly. And like I said, if anybody else got YouTube channels that they want me to subscribe to, bring to my attention somehow, some way, comment, let me know, and I will, return the favor because we all in this together. So I love y'all. Want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. And at Dear Diary, like I said before, this is not the end. This is just see you later. So y'all have an awesome night, sweet dreams, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.